it is the 11th day of the blackout, no power, no connection. I am speaking very fast to at least upload 1-minute videos to post them and say that we are alive and well.
No power, no water. Fuel at $15 per gallon. Crimea's grid is collapsing, transformer by transformer.
The blackout spreading across occupied Crimea isn't a technical hiccup. It's the visible result of a months-long campaign that has now reached the point of structural failure. Ukrainian forces have carried out more than 40 strikes on the peninsula's power infrastructure since spring, hitting substations at every level of the grid, from local 35 kilovolt distribution points up to the 330 kilovolt transmission backbone that carries power across Crimea. On July 14th, strikes reached the Balaklava thermal plant, which alone supplies roughly a third of the peninsula's generating capacity. Satellite imagery tells the story without commentary. Nighttime light levels across Crimea had fallen to roughly a fifth of normal by late June, with smaller cities like Kerch and Saki down to just a fifth of their baseline illumination, even as Sevastopol and Simferopol cling to something closer to half. The reason this damage compounds rather than heals is structural. Substations can, in theory, be patched relatively quickly. Generating plants like Balaklava cannot. And Crimea's entire system rests on a thin margin of redundancy. 2 thermal plants and a single undersea cable from mainland Russia. Knock out one leg of that tripod repeatedly enough and there's no slack left to absorb the next strike. On the ground, the consequences read like a slow-motion emergency. Residents describe stretches with as little as 5 hours of power across 4.5 days.
Hello everyone, dear friends. Yalta, July 30th, it is the 11th day of the blackout, no power, no connection. I am speaking very fast to at least upload 1-minute videos to post them and say that we are alive and well.
Water, thank God, is back. They shut off the water for a day and a half. That was, of course, a nightmare. Without water, you can't do anything at all. I'm heading to the Bristol Hotel now. Our neighbor supposedly saved us a table. He says, "Come over, Irina, there is Wi-Fi there." If I manage to post this, it means I succeeded in connecting to the Wi-Fi at the Bristol. And yes, most importantly, a short video today if it works, but a survival guide. Life hacks on how to heat water, how to keep food, and how to survive.
Everything will be fine. Yalta is loud, of course. A life hack: how to keep soup fresh. Put the pot in the bathtub and fill it with ice-cold water. It will last until tomorrow. Tomorrow we will have lunch and boil it again, and there will still be soup. Basically, enough soup for 2 more days. That is how we will keep it. Tomorrow we will eat and boil it again.
Life hacks on how to keep food cool. A melon in a bucket. We also made soup. I showed you how we keep our food cool. Now I will show you how we heat water to take a bath. A life hack on how to heat water. Because you can't have enough canisters. 1 canister lasts 2 days. I had tea, coffee, washed my hair, and the canister is gone. We almost started a fire. Look, because we take it like this, we put the water 1 bottle and another bottle right next to it, lying down. And we left yesterday. This is our first life hack. We laid them out like this. It is, of course, warm. 2 bottles in a bucket are enough to bathe, but we almost started a fire. Do you see the effect? A lens effect. Look what happened to the windowsill. We almost burned down. It is the same on that side. We put 2 bottles here and 2 bottles on this window, and it is the same thing. So yes, the water got warm, but we almost burned out. And so all these life hacks also need to be tested, just like that. God forbid you ever need it, but we are sharing our experience.
Crimea, Feodosia, Primorsky, a week without power. You know what the hardest part is in a situation like this. It is not even having to wash in cold water or having to go to friends' houses to do laundry. That is also a delicate matter. By the 6th day, that inhibition fades and I will just wash everything at my friends. The hardest part is not falling into apathy. It creeps up like a spider and crawls right into your heart. And you just want to do nothing at all. Just lie down and stay there. And to hell with everything. But you have to find the strength. You can set a strict daily routine. It helps me. At this time I get up, then I do this, then I do that. And if you have something to lean on, for example, my dogs help me, my routine just happens on its own, then it is a bit easier to hold on. But even apathy creeps up on me too. Just now I caught myself thinking, like, I'll just go to sleep, basically. No sleeping for me. There's a task for the day. Get up and do it. So I go and do it. Fight against forced helplessness, learned helplessness, gain the strength to think critically and save your energy. The summer will be difficult and the autumn will be even harder. Bye everyone, moving on. Nothing is useless, we are doing everything right, we are doing everything well, and we will succeed. Support those who find themselves in such a situation, even with a kind word.
Water pumping stations dependent on that same failing grid have left upper floors without running water and forced families to ration what little reaches the tap. Fuel, once around 80 rubles a liter, has been reported climbing toward 270 rubles and beyond on the black market, with official sales rationed to 20 liters a week via QR code and residents waiting in groups just hoping one person's code goes through. Cafes have become impromptu charging stations for phones that have no power at home. Supermarkets have raised prices faster than shelves can be restocked, and refrigeration failures mean spoilage is now a daily household calculation, not an occasional inconvenience. What makes this more than a hardship story is what it exposes about the occupation itself. Moscow annexed Crimea as a strategic prize and a symbol. It cannot protect the grid that keeps that prize livable, cannot repair damage faster than new strikes arrive, and has no answer for the next wave beyond diesel generators and emergency charging points borrowed from the same playbook Ukraine's own cities used to survive Russian winter bombardment. Every generator trucked in and every stopgap fix is, in effect, an admission. The infrastructure of occupation is being dismantled faster than it can be rebuilt. For residents living through rolling blackouts, the lesson is arriving one transformer at a time, in the dark. An occupation that depends on a grid it cannot defend is not stable, it's on borrowed time. Ukraine is demonstrating, strike by strike, a form of pressure that outside diplomacy has mostly avoided naming directly. That denying logistics and power to occupied territory can unravel an occupation more effectively than any negotiating table has managed in years of talks. Something extraordinary happened in the studio with the propagandists. A person expressed an opinion that wasn't based on a history taught from a Putinist perspective. A Harvard student gave her colleagues, including Solovyov, a masterclass in reality. As a result, the broadcast unexpectedly took place without the usual mentions of the Pechenegs, Polovtsians, and other perennial heroes of the Kremlin's version of the past.
We recorded some brief interview comments from a Harvard student who just walked right off campus. You would think she should know the history and culture well, being a Slavic studies student, since that is her department. But here is what happened.
First question, what are the Slavic languages?
There are many: Czech, Polish, Ukrainian, Belarusian, and that is all.
What is the Cyrillic alphabet?
It is the alphabet used by Ukrainians and Russians.
What is the historical significance of Kievan Rus?
We just studied that. Basically, it is a place in Ukraine. Interestingly, the incorrect spelling is currently widespread. The thing is, Russians and Ukrainians spell this name differently. And it is important for us to use the Ukrainian version because Russians like to say that it is their land.
And the last one, what influence did the Soviet Union have on Slavic countries?
Damn, he took them all for himself, and it was awful!
Can I just say one thing? They say that knowledge is power.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week at 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.